Yeah, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Supreme General, back talking boxing with y'all one time. Here to kick it today about the fantasy. Well, it's not really a fantasy matchup. I look at it as a future mega fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I just want to talk about it for a second. You know what I'm saying? Get my thoughts on the shit. Personally, I believe fundamentally Anthony Joshua is a much better fighter than Deontay Wilder. He does just about everything better. Excuse me, I got a blaze in the middle of this shit. But yeah, he do just about everything better. The man be his jab is better. His right hand after is better. His foot movement, getting in and out, seems to be a little bit better. A little bit. Not much, though. Not much. Because Wilder's shit is, although it's unorthodox, he moves a little faster than Anthony Joshua to me. Anthony Joshua move a little, he got like that plodding movement, you know what I'm saying, where it's kind of, it's kind of slow. Like it just seems that way. It may not necessarily be that way because in the Klitschko fight, it seemed like he was moving slow, but he necessarily wasn't. Like, he was still able to get inside on Klitschko. And, anybody that fights Klitschko, his number one thing is to keep you on the outside or to hug you when you get close. He ain't trying to let you get close, And I know the height thing presents a certain dynamic for Klitschko as far as that clinching and shit go, but Joshua was able to get in and out of range pretty easily. I mean, he wasn't on his toes or nothing, but when he wanted to get in, he got in. When he wanted to get out, he got out, Especially during those rounds where Joshua was hurt, and and what's the name? Klitschko was landing on him heavy. You know what I'm saying? He still wasn't able to get those shots like Klitschko really likes to get you on the end of his punches. Even when Joshua was on the ropes and shit, he was very defensively sound. I like that. And some of it had to do with his feet, even though they was in quicksand and him being such a big dude, you know what I'm saying? But the majority of it was just a good, just total body. He seemed to be able to move in and out, just to get out of Klitschko's danger range is what I'll call it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in his range where he could be totally destroyed, and that was rather impressive to me. And with all that being said, I believe Deontay Wilder soundly defeats Anthony Joshua by knockout. This ain't going to the cards. Because the bottom line is this. No matter what, Joshua land on Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I do believe Joshua has great power. And he's a heavyweight, so, just being a heavyweight ensures that you have the power to knock motherfuckers the fuck out. But when it come to Wilder, you know what I'm saying, he does have a chin, and Bermain Stavern can punch too. And he was landing on Wilder, but he didn't get him out. He didn't look hurt at all that fight. So I could see Joshua needing needing a sustained type beating to really hurt Wilder. And because of that, I also know that at some point during this fight between Wilder and Joshua, at some point, Wilder is going to land that right hand. And when he do, that's it. That's it, man. I mean, Klitschko is a bad motherfucker, man. He's a very strong guy. And when you see the top level guys fight him, they don't usually get knocked out with the one punch. Well, yeah, they do. Some of them do. Calvin Brock, the one punch. But the majority of them try to avoid his straight shots, like, at all costs. Like, you watch the David Haye fight, like, David Haye refused to engage because Klitschko had that power, but it wasn't like Wilder power. Wilder got that put you to motherfucking sleep power. That, nigga, this is the end of the fight power. That fucking, it's 2 seconds left in the whole fight and he land this shit and it's over type fight. That, you know what I mean? That fight night champion motherfucking that haymaker, that one punch, I don't even know how to describe it. I just call that shit lights out. You know what I'm saying? Put you lights the fuck out. And Joshua got a suspect chin, man. He, with all his fucking, with all the things that go well for him, or that bode well for him, I should say, that chin is suspect. And that worries me, fighting a guy like Wilder. Now, normally, against all these other motherfuckers, his technical ability will be able to, keep him in a position to where that's like a moot point. When you fucking with Wilder, man, he's gonna land that right hand. He's gonna land it. And when he does, man, I expect Joshua to be knocked out by it. Not on the first one. I'm not saying nothing like that. I do believe, because Joshua is a champion now. After he beat Klitschko, he became really a champion. He had the belt before that, but he became champion once he beat Klitschko. So now he got that heart, that just, I don't know, the swag and shit, just the whole aura of a champion, you know what I mean? It seems to take regular men and make them stronger, you know what I mean? Put them on another level, make it harder to fuck with them in any way, make them almost, you know what I mean? You get an unfuckwittable Bruce Leroy type glow and shit, you know what I mean? That's when niggas when you become champion, you know? Because it is a difference between getting the belt and becoming champion, you know what I'm saying? But even if you get the belt, you're still, you're a bad motherfucker in my opinion. But like I was saying, he got the glow, but Wilder, man, there's a reason Klitschko ain't want to fight that dude, man. It's a reason. Because Klitschko took on all comers. He fought everybody. He even fought Tony Thompson. I guess he's aspiring with him. Basically, everybody he used to aspire with, he ended up fighting. Except Wilder. That's telling. And you got to include Joshua in that too, because he too used to spar with Klitschko. And don't get me wrong, man. I understand the financial ramifications of fighting a guy like Joshua over fighting a guy like Wilder. And when you couple that with the risk, it makes it a no-brainer. But at the end of the day, he still didn't fight Wilder, and he had numerous chances before Wilder was able to get the green belt. And one would have thought, once Wilder got that green belt, his brother, I don't know if all you motherfuckers been watching boxing quite as long as I have, but I have for a minute. My man Vitaly, one of my favorite fighters ever, Vitaly, the nigga. Well, he ain't a nigga. You get what I'm saying, though. But Vitaly, he had the green belt, and Vladimir had all the rest of the belts. And once Vitaly retired, Wilder was able, I think Stavern won the belt from, it was vacant up for grabs versus Chris Arreola, and then he lost to Wilder, who then became champion. And you just would have thought Klitschko would have wanted to get that belt, you know what I'm saying, before retiring, but he didn't. Add to that, Wilder was green as fuck at that time, man. He was green. So, I don't know, man. But that right hand, like I told you, that great equalizer, man, that would be the difference in this fight. Because, like I said, technically, at this point, Anthony Joshua is the superior boxer. As far as fundamentals, as far as, just everything that come with boxing right now, he's just better. But Wilder has the equalizer, that right hand. And I just feel like eventually that right hand is going to land. And I just don't think Joshua could stand up to it. It's going to be a hell of a fight till then, man. I'm looking forward to it. But I honestly would like to see, and I'm not one normally for advocating waiting, but in this case, I do think it need to marinate. I think Joshua need to fight, I would say, Tyson Fury, but he never seemed to be able to get his shit together long enough to, go into a fight. Because somebody got to beat Fury, man. Somebody got to beat Fury. Unless he just straight up retire, somebody has to beat him. And they will. I don't have no doubt. I personally think Tyson Fury is ripe to be beaten. And I think that the next fight that he get in, no matter who he fight, he's going to lose. Unless it's a tomato can ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just, the way I look at this shit, man, I see Joshua need to do what he need to do, you know what I'm saying? Maybe fight Luis Ortiz, or maybe have Wilder fight Luis Ortiz, but it looked like Wilder gonna have to fight Stavern again. So either one of these guys get one more fight in, and then the top of the year, maybe next year, give us the mega fight. So for all the belts too, make sure it's an undisputed shit. Make sure you collect them belts. So somebody got beat up Joseph Parker. That ain't no thing. Joseph Parker trying to get money fights right now anyway. He don't want no smoke with the big dogs. He trying to get some cash right quick. Trying to flip that belt. You know what I mean? Trying to get it in right quick, get his little money on before he go ahead and, get his head chopped off. Because regardless if he fight Joshua or Wilder, that's an L for Parker. Much respect to Parker, but he can't fuck with neither one of them. So let's get his fucking belt out the way, get his, and then have them approach each other with like multiple belts, like how what's the name? What's that? Terrence Crawford and Julius Anango doing right now, Really can't wait for that fight either, man. That's gonna be a hell of a fight. But yeah, I ain't gonna make this shit too long. I just want to let y'all know what my prediction would be on that as far as that fight go. But I'm a huge Joshua fan, huge Wilder fan, like both gentlemen. I think they represent the sport well. They both wonderful heavyweight champions and huge motherfuckers too. God damn, he's like 6'8". Not quite that big, but they're some big dudes. You know what I'm saying? Some very large individuals. So to see them come together and clash would be really a spectacular event. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait for it. But right now, I got Wilder winning, man. That right hand is the end all be all. 100.